I'm ready, dude.
All right, buddy. All right.
We'll be fine.
All right, give me a second. I gotta get this thing going. We might not have too many. All right, here we go. All right. Shoot. All right. All right. Attendees on.
Attendees are on hold. They're all coming in, dude. There's 20 of them. 21, 22.
All right. All right, guys. We are so sorry about the delay. We were having problems with audio. It froze up. And we apologize about that. So we finally got it working. We didn't know what was going on. I'm on the line, got Marty on there. We couldn't hear anything, so we had to reset and start the system over again, but we finally got in. If you guys can hear me okay, type 1 in the chat box, please.
It says they're on hold, I think.
Oh, it says it's on hold. Oh, okay.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Okay, you're in.
All right, guys. It's 8:15 Eastern time. This is Sean Snyder talking to you. We got Marty Goldman on the line. Wanted to apologize about the delay. We were having problems, technical difficulties, just with the webinar. We could not hear each other. The speakers and stuff was not working, so we had to reset it. We truly apologize about the wait, guys, and we're just excited that we got it going, and excited that you guys are here. So, with that being said, if you guys can hear me okay, can you type 1 in the chat box? All right.
Hey, Sean, that's just proof that if you can make money in this, anybody can, huh?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He actually did it on purpose, guys, so...
We did. I had this plan just to see you guys' patience. No, I'm kidding. You guys know I'm not that tech savvy, but I'm getting there, right? I'm getting there.
You sure are, dude.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, Doug, I see you, Michael, Larry, Steve, LN, William, and Ben. Okay. All right, so like we said, we apologize about the delay. Marty, you want to say anything before we get going?
Yeah, just really glad to be here, and I'm looking for, I guess we have about 45 minutes of learning and having fun and sharing what we know with all you guys. So just glad to be here.
Yeah. Well, we're glad to have you. And just so you guys know, I mean, since we're a little late, you guys have more questions at the end, we'll stay on and we'll do anything we can to help you guys, because that's what we're here for, right? We're all doing this together. Like I always say, if I can do this, anyone can do this. Anyone can do this. And without a doubt, my passion is just to pay it forward. The things that I learned just to show to you guys. So as you guys know, the ones that are involved in the Facebook group, I mean, we're a tight community, right? We're a tight group and we help each other. So if there's anything I can do to help you, if there's anything Marty can do to help you, we will take the time to just to help you guys out. So let's just dive right in. Marty, what do you think? Just talking about, this episode, we want to emphasize, we want to talk about just the action steps to experience success, right? 2017 is upon us, right? So many times, so many people have New Year's resolutions, but so many times people have these desires, these goals, these things they want to change about their life. But by the end of the month, those goals, those desires, and those dreams are, given up on. They're put back on the shelf. People continue living the same way that they have lived before. I know for myself, I have done this many, many, many times. And Marty, I'm sure you can testify to it too. But what we have learned, what we have experienced is what we want to share today. Things to make this year just a lasting change in your life, a transformation for you and your loved ones. Because when we talk about this stuff, we just have a passion for it. We know what's possible. We have just learned different ways to take steps to change our lives and then also the people around you. So, I just want to encourage you guys that the change is possible, that this course, what we are doing, once you apply yourself and you do it day in and day out, always looking for just ways to grow, ways to just keep moving forward, that change is possible. Success is possible, and that you can create the freedom that you desire if you're willing to look for opportunities to move forward every day, to lay your bricks, to build that wall. For myself, and I'm going to talk about it a little later, is I am a couple weeks away from being able to lay down my full-time job and just to be able to focus on this. This is something that was part of my why back in the summertime when I started, right? And I kept that in the forefront of my mind. And if I did not choose to take action, if I didn't choose to do what I had to do day in and day out, this course wouldn't be available. This webinar would not exist. Right. Our group would not exist. I would not be weeks away from being able to quit my job. Right. So going back to the beginning, if I can do this, you guys can too. Marty, is there anything that comes to mind that you want to...
Yeah, I was just remembering that that you talked about it on the first webinar, is that when Chris gave you some work to do, he said, hey, Sean, I want you to do this. You remember when he talked about you needed to read and study and do all that stuff?
Yeah.
And just think about it. What happens if you didn't do that? What happens if you said, yeah, okay, Chris, I'm going to do that, and you didn't do anything about it, and Chris wasn't there to check in with you, or you in with him? I'm thinking that if you didn't do your work then, we might not even have this group as you as a leader. It's because not only that you committed to something, and said, hey, Chris, I'll do it, you followed through with it. You took step by step, and look at the results that you're having. So first of all, I want to congratulate you. And second of all, that's something that we want to teach everybody here, is not to just, quote unquote, have a New Year's resolution,
Yep, exactly.
but to have actual steps and actual plans that this New Year is going to be successful.
Mm-hmm. That's absolutely right. I couldn't have said it any better, Marty. It's so true. I mean, just to touch on what you said, I mean, we all have 24 hours in a day, right, guys? We all have a busy life. When this opportunity first came to me and I got connected with Chris and told him, listen, I'm doing this 14, 16-hour day job outside all year long, busting my butt, standing on my feet. I have 2 kids. I have family and friends I care about. I need something else because I'm barely getting by. I don't have the time to invest in my kids' life. If I want to go see one of their concerts or go on a field trip, I can't do it. So Chris gave me an opportunity. He said, okay, give you a chance. I want you to learn this. I want you to study this. And he gave me some things to do that were overwhelming, that most people would be like, no, there's no way I can do it. But I made up my mind. I had my why in, the front of my head, and each day I did what I had to do, right? And I just looked at the day at hand. I didn't look at the big picture because, like I tell you guys all the time, if you look at something, if you look at your end goal, a lot of times you can get overwhelmed. Focus on what you have each and every day, and you do it. Like Marty just said, you have a plan, and you do it. And that's what this webinar is going to be about with this course, being able to just maybe take some ideas from what we share and apply it to your life. If you do not apply, principles, if you don't have a roadmap, if you don't have daily goals, like Marty just said, day in and day out, you are not going to continue to do it. You won't continue to do it. You won't. It's it's like getting in the car. Me and Marty talked about this and saying, getting all excited. Oh, I'm going to go on a cross-country trip. I'm in the East Coast. I want to go to California. I want to get in the car. I want to drive. And you're so excited. You're pumped up. You're ready to go. You've never been to California. You get in your car, right? You start off with just that strong desire. But We don't have a map. We don't have navigation. We don't have anything. We just have the desire in our heart, right, that we're going cross country. Well, guess what? How long do you think that's going to go until you turn around and realize, you can't do it anymore? If you don't have a map, if you don't have navigation, you're going to get to the point where you're excited in the beginning, but that is going to wear off. You don't have a direction. You don't have any steps. You don't have a roadmap. Eventually, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to give up, and you're going to turn around. Now, if you're starting, go ahead.
I'm just thinking, about the car ride. Probably the first detour that you run into is when you're going to be like totally lost and ready to quit.
Yeah.
Because you don't have any plan, you don't have any map. You probably forgot your wallet at home, knowing you, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
So you're going to run out of gas, and you just have no way. You forgot your cell phone, so you can't, get any information. I mean, that stuff happens all the time. We have ideas. We want to do it. We get all excited, but we don't set up all the different tools. We don't use all the little tools to plan this thing so we could take the steps necessary to accomplish them. And if you think about like going from to Delaware all the way, say you're going to go to California, or you're going to take a trip to Illinois, and you have no map and no idea how to do it, you're going to just go, oh my God,
Yep.
This is horrible. I'm scared. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we need our tools, and tools have been laid out for us. So that's just something I'm thinking.
Nah, you're right. And if we have those tools, Marty, you are 10 times, 100 times more likely to complete your trip, to get to your destination, to achieve your goal, right? If you have that map, if you have that navigation that shows you step by step where you need to go, what you need to do, the chances are much, much, much greater. So,
yeah, you know what else though, dude? Say you're driving over to my house, okay, and you you get lost, okay? So now you could call me up, right?
Yeah.
I've taken that trip 25 times from your house to my house. I'm making that up.
Yep.
Okay? So if you're lost, what do? You go to the expert, the person who knows that trip, the person who has done it, the person who has been successful in it. And you call them up and say, hey, Marty, I'm like at Lou Malnati's Pizza on the corner, so on and so forth. I'm lost. How do I get here from there? Okay,
I like
so
that.
you talk to the expert. You talk to, the people who have paved the way. And that's a big part of what this program is about. Somebody paves the way. Sean, you paved the way. You see people here paving the way. You see people publicly sharing what they have done, so they've accomplished their success. And eventually, I find that people have to start trusting, if they want change, they want good things to happen, they need to start trusting something or someone that they could gather information from and follow it and achieve the goals that they want.
Yeah. Yep. You're right. I have this quote here. Let me get to it. Remember, right? This is something that we all need to just grasp. At the start of each day, you are the one creating what lies ahead. You are the one creating what lies ahead. And just think about that before we dive into just different things that maybe you could take with you. Just think about that. I mean, it is so true. You have the choice each and every day to take steps forward in this course, the business that you guys are doing, to create a better future for you and your family. Whether it's that, whether it's health and fitness, something personal, you guys have the choice each day. And so many times, so many people procrastinate. And I know I did with myself. So many times I'll be like, oh, okay, well, I'll get to it. Well, I'll get to it never happens. Later never happens. And today, the mindset I have today is there is no tomorrow. Today is tomorrow. So going back to what Marty said, when I connected with Chris back in late spring last year, if I did not choose each and every day to take steps forward, I would not be where I am right now. And 2017 is going to pass us, guys. Where are you going to be next year? What changes are going to happen, are going to be transformed in your own lives? Is it going to be, pretty much the same where you're at, or are you going to be to a whole nother level? I just want to encourage you guys, and I'm saying this from the bottom of my heart. I have no doubt each and every one of you, whatever your desires, whatever your dreams, whatever your why is, you can achieve whatever's possible. All you have to do is you have to believe, you have to take action, surround yourself with the right kind of people, and just lay your bricks every day. So let's just get into different things that me and Marty were talking about that we just, want to just put it out there to remind you about the course, about FBA. Now that you guys have the ability to not only sell merchant fulfilled through Amazon, but also FBA, you guys, have everything you can. And in a couple weeks too, people are going to be able to, new sellers will be able to start selling toys. So everything's going to be open to you guys in terms of, regular restrictions being moved. So we just have here steps to get it moving, steps to just see success. And we got people that are involved in the group right now that we are seeing. Me and Marty were talking about earlier. A lot of guys in the group are taking action, are overcoming obstacles, are being persistent, being patient, and they are seeing results. And the more they do this, the more results they're gonna see. We want to encourage you guys, the ones that aren't involved in the group, to start getting involved. And we'll talk about accountability later, but Marty, you want to go over some of this? This is just some of the examples that, me and Marty have talked about, things that have helped us tremendously in our own lives, and we just want to pass it on to you guys too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list, and I think it's incredible. And, I mean, it's all laid out step by step. There's something that I'm thinking that even goes even more basic, as far as goal setting is, something that I'm thinking is like you could have in your head that, I want to be successful. You might be in your head that you want to be successful. Okay, my question for you, did you ever write it down? Did you ever put it on a piece of paper?
Yeah.
Did you ever clarify what being successful means to you? It may not even have a dollar sign related. When I'm saying that everybody has to come up with their individual goals, okay, and be very specific about it and talk about them. Like maybe if you haven't done it already for 2017, you might want to sit around with somebody that you care about, sit down with somebody, sit down with a spouse, a wife, a friend, and start going over your goals and start getting clearer. And so when that wind blows, that soon as you start getting a little shaky, you forget what your goals are because you're scared or you don't believe that you could get them, but you have them there. You have them somewhere that you could look at and you could be reminded of, and you could get your head clear because they're very concrete right there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And
so I would first say that I would want to be, I would want to, to get moving in this format. Okay, identify your why, tattoo in your heart. Okay, so I would have to say I definitely want to be successful in this program, and I want to make blank amount. My first goal in this. Our personal goal was very specific. I'm not going to tell you the particular number, but it was to have the income to replace 1 day a week that my wife makes so she could take that day off. We hit that. Okay, so now we have other goals. But it's a very specific thing. It's a very thing that we could see, that we could work for. What's concrete. And then we said, well, how are we going to reach that goal? Okay, so we said, well, we're going to do it by doing this. And then I start reading the training materials, and then I start asking questions, and then I start coming up with the procedures of how I'm going to go make that happen. Like, you pretty much see me on the Facebook page a lot, and I specifically tell people what I'm going to do. Those came out of my goal setting. I want to, I'm going to say I'm going to the gym. I'm going to go work out. I squeeze my juice. I am going to scan this. I'm going to scan that. And it's all because I have very specific goals and I want to accomplish something.
That's right.
So you got to get clear on what those goals are, or else you can read all this stuff and it doesn't mean anything. What does it have to do with you? The you is because you know what you want to accomplish.
That's right.
I hope I said that right.
No, Marty, you said it really well.
Okay.
And, everything that you said, too, with writing things down, it's proven. So they've done studies where if you actually take the time to write out your goals, handwrite them, handwrite your steps to achieve these goals, the effect of it in your mind and in your heart is just so much more than if you're just to put it in your phone or anything like that. So write this stuff down. Write this stuff down and get it, down so you guys know it's a plan, it's action. When I talk about identifying your why, you guys have to know this, and I know some of you know, but the reason I hit this so hard is because it's the fuel that will keep you going, because obstacles will come up, storms of life will come up, and you will feel like quitting. You have to know your why. Your why has to be strong enough because that will keep you going. So I can't emphasize that enough. For me, my why, and I've said it from the beginning, is my faith, my family, my freedom. They are the things that mean the most to me, and why I've busted my butt so hard, why I've worked so hard, is because I want to be able to gain that financial freedom to invest my time in the things that matter most, to invest my time in my faith, in my family, in my friends, people that I can give back to. That's what it is. So to me, it's just so important. So identify your why. Next time, maybe the next thing, I'm going to call you guys out and I'm going to ask you, what is your why? Because we got to start taking action, and I just want to see you guys succeed. I want it so bad. I want it more than I want success for myself. When I see success stories like Marty, like Ben in our group, Chris, Jimmy, it goes on and on and on and on. Mike, it just inspires me so much. And, I just want to see this for you guys so bad. So these are just some things that we're talking about, okay? Identifying your why. Marty talked about goals, writing them down, getting a plan day in and day out. Okay, next thing we have up are go through the training material. If you haven't gone through it, go through it. Get the necessary tools, supplies, and practice. Practice, start scanning. If you're in that beginning, start scanning around the house, but you need the tools and supplies to get started. You have to know the training material to get started. We talked about getting involved in the Facebook group. The Facebook group, we're going to talk about it in a little bit also, but there is so much strength and power that comes from a group. Being involved in a group of like-minded people, being involved in a group of, community members that want to see you succeed, that want to lift you up, that feed off each other. If you have questions, you ask. If you're involved in a group and you don't know something, you ask, and somebody's going to help you. Somebody that knows how to do it will help you. So I can't emphasize that enough. That is a tremendous tool for your success also, right? And then, you got to take action. You got to get out there and you got to start scanning. You got to start sourcing product. Regardless of your budget, there's always room to find product, but you got to start. You got to take action. It's so easy to say, oh, I'll get to it. You got to do it. You got to do it. The fact is, that most people that start off on different different ventures, anything like that, they have this desire to change. They have the desire to succeed, but majority of them won't do it. So that's why me and Marty are just going over this stuff to emphasize to you guys just how important it is to get these principles that we're teaching just like tattooed on your heart, like I said, with your why written down, look at them day in and day out and just focus on the things that you guys need to do. And if you do these things, you guys will see results. You will. No doubt about it.
Right.
And then at the
Right.
bottom, one step at a time, right? You hear us one step at a time. You hear us talking about laying your bricks. Don't focus on the wall. Just lay one brick at a time. Take steps every day to move forward. You always hear that. Regardless, if it's a baby step, take it. You know, just look for opportunities to move forward every day. You're not going to be perfect, but just focus on that. But the thing is, you have to take the steps. You can't think about it. You got to do it. You got to take a step. You got to look for ways to keep moving forward. Marty, anything that you want to add? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm staring at the same chart everybody is, and what keeps standing out in all of this here is get involved in the Facebook group. And and I'm thinking about it, and I'm going like why? I mean, what does it mean get involved in the Facebook group? What could people get out of being involved in a Facebook group? Yes, you hit it. It's about accountability. Okay? So, I'm just thinking that, what happened when you have things, you have a group of people that are trying to accomplish the same things. What you do, how I use the group is I kind of plan my day the night before. I go over what I accomplished before I go to bed. I try to clear my mind. I go over all the different things that I've done during the day. I also look at the things that I haven't done, and instead of just going like, oh, dang, I missed this, I'm no good, I make sure that I forgive myself for the things that I haven't done. I make sure that I let go of the things that I haven't done. I make sure I don't beat myself up for the things that I haven't done. And I go, wow, man, Marty, you did a pretty good job on doing this. You did a great job on doing that. I'm kind of doing my dusting of my brain. So when I go to bed, I could have some peace. I could have whatever your faith is, God, spirit, energy working through there. I'm trying to make some room there so I could be renourished and I could be charged up and I could begin my new day. So I actually start what's going on tomorrow the night before. And then I go to the group, and then I go to the group and I'm going like, wow, people will understand when I write that I'm going to go scanning. Okay, and I'm a person that really likes to be, if I say something, I really like to do it. Of course I miss things now and then, but I don't want to commit myself and say yes to things that I have no intention of doing. I think that's kind of a pretty rotten thing, and it's kind of a little hostile in some ways because people are counting on you to do something, and to get them off your back, you say yeah, I'll do it. I mean I try to take my word pretty literal, so I have some type of integrity. So when somebody talks to me, they know they're talking to a man of integrity. Okay, so I use this Facebook page, and I say, the night before I realized that I needed to scan, so I put out there that I'm going to go out and I'm going to scan. I put out there that I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I have other people in my life that I have different categories that I get that type of accountability for. But this Facebook page is a brilliant place that it is so underused here that you could put yourself out there and saying, hey, world, I am going to go do this. And people are seeing it, and you're living up to your word, and at the end of the day, you could say, hey, man, I nailed this thing. Okay, and then what happens is the rest of the group goes, way to go, Sean, way to go, Chris, way to go, Marty, way to go, Ben. Okay, and you feel really darn good that you got a cheering section of people that notice you and notice that that you make actions. Everybody likes to be noticed. And we have this ability here in this group to notice each other, to support each other, to give people, right on. I mean, and if you don't get it in this group, which is fine, you don't need to get it in this group, the big question I ask you is, where do you get it? And do you get it?
Yep.
Do you have people in your life, right, Sean? Do you have people in your life that, that are going to hold you accountable and help you become that bigger person that you want to be? I'll tell you, I've been self-employed. My wife leaves a house, my son leaves a house, and I'm here all alone. And if I didn't have any accountability, I could sit here and sleep all freaking day, and and everybody around me is doing all this stuff, and I'm being a lazy butt, and I'm sitting in my chair, and I have no accountability. So the way I prevent that is I tell people what the heck I'm going to do.
Yep. Preach on.
And I also ask people to support me in that.
Yep.
And if you don't mind, I'd like to give you a huge example of what I'm talking about.
Go ahead.
Okay. I have been skating, and I don't want to say skating, but I hit a comfort zone of going out into the shopping. I go in on Senior's Day, and I get 40% off, and I go and I start scanning stuff at the local thrift stores. I've had quite a bit of success with that. But I would go out and I would end up with 8 to 10 games or 7 games or whatever in toys, and I spent $25, and I had the ability to make $300. And I was very comfortable doing that. I was very comfortable, and I knew that if I did that, because there's only so many games that I could keep finding in those stores, I'm probably going to level off making a certain amount of money. Right, Sean?
That's right.
I'm only going to get so far.
Yep.
So what I had to do is I had to say, hey, Sean, because Sean and I talk a lot. We're good friends, and we've been friends for a long time.
That's right.
And I said, Sean, I need to go to another level in this company. Because all the records that I have are, all the other records that I've been listing, the books that are listing, I really haven't invested a lot of money, okay? And I said, well, I need to start putting some money into this so I can make more money. Mm-hmm. And I said, Sean, I am going to spend $500 this weekend on clothes and toy, whatever. I'm going to go out and I'm going to spend $500 this weekend.
Yep.
Now, maybe that's not uncomfortable for you, but for me, and it's not spending money makes me uncomfortable, but I was, my mind was thinking, well, if I spend $500 and 3 items don't sell, all that garbage talk, even though Sean has, and all these people show they're going to get this return pretty much every single time. I didn't experience that with actually spending $500 and getting 1,000 back. So I said, Sean, I need to go to another level, and I will spend $500. So I said that on a Wednesday. Friday, Sean and I were talking, and honestly, I forgot that I said that. Okay? I forgot it. Okay, and I find sometimes we forget things. I didn't write it down for some reason, and I absolutely forgot that weekend I was going to spend $500, and the reason that I told Sean is because I knew if I told him it would happen more likely than if I didn't. So in our conversation, Sean says, Marty, remember, you're spending $500 this weekend. He held me accountable to it. And I said, "Woo, that's right." I kind of try to snow him a little bit, like I didn't forget, you know.
Yeah.
But I said, "Yeah, that's right. I did say that, right?" And boom, perfect example of accountability. And man, I went out there and I scanned and I found some really, really good deals, and we spent about $650. And now I'm getting it prepped. I'm learning something. That to me is a perfect example of accountability that I'm talking about.
Yeah. And Marty, I mean, that's a perfect example. And everything that you said, everything that he's telling you guys, I mean, it's so true. I mean, accountability alone, okay, just to have that example, like Marty said, me and him, we talk a lot, and he's helped me over the years with things, and I've been able to help him too. But when you have somebody that is like-minded, that is sharing the same dreams and passions, and you guys are working on the same thing, like our, Facebook group, people that you connect with in the group, me, Marty, you can reach out. But if you have somebody where, okay, you have these dreams, you have these desires, these things you want to do, and you throw it out there to somebody, you put it in the Facebook group, and, it just holds you more accountable. You're more prone to follow through than if you are to keep it with yourself, because we know anytime in life, anytime you isolate yourself or you try to do something on your own, most of the time you'll run out of steam and you'll stop. You won't reach your goals. So, the examples that Marty just said is a perfect example, because vice versa, I could tell him something too and Marty will hold it to me. So the ones that you guys that are involved in the Facebook group, we encourage all you guys to get involved, because it is a great place and we got a lot of people that lift each other up. But, maybe find somebody that you connect with, ask if you want to be an accountability partner, or, if you don't, just keep throwing questions out in the group. If I can help you, message me. If Marty can help you, message him. All those guys in the group, everybody will help everybody. But it's so important, right, Marty? So important.
Yes. What I'm thinking, and I really think this is huge, okay? It's huge, okay? Because if, a lot of people, and so did I, think that sharing something with another person and asking them if they'll help you, help you stay accountable, will they check in with you, will they do this? Some people think that's like, sitting down in an electric chair and electrocuting yourself, like it's torture, that somebody would hold you accountable to something that you said. Yeah. But what it's actually doing is offering you the freedom and the opportunity to accomplish the things that you really, really deep inside want to accomplish in your life. And you're saying, you know what, I'm in, and I'm not going to look at the person who's holding me accountable as somebody who just wants to bitch at me and complain to me or tell me what to do. No, you're empowering them to help you to accomplish what you chose to do.
Yep. And
it has to be very clear that you have them support you for the things that you want. Okay? It's not them laying their agenda on you. It's saying, I want to accomplish this in my life. Will you help me accomplish these particular goals that I set?
Yes.
So, and I think the team, okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be on Facebook. I mean, it would be great to see it, all that happening, because it's inspiring. But I think people should take a look at the people in their lives that they already know and see who they can discuss with and ask if they would be part of you accomplishing great things in your in your life. Do they mind helping you? Do they mind supporting you? And then if once you have that, think about it. Now that's where it might be good to get back on Facebook and say, I've accomplished this. I have an accountability partner. So you could get the cheering. You could get the people going, way to go, Joe. Way to go, Bob. Way to go, Chris. Way to go, Sean. Okay? And, so really think about who is there in your life that's going to empower you. And sometimes it's kind of sad to say that there aren't a lot.
Mm-mm.
And
No.
if there isn't, well, we got it here, right?
Yep. And Marty, just to feed off that, when talking about our transformation days, guys, you've heard us talk about that. Me and Marty were both involved in Bill Phillips' transformation, and Marty was one of the original champions. And then I came in a couple years later, and then I became one also, and I was inspired by all these guys in this community. But the one thing that helped me a lot was I was involved in a group, right? A small group where I didn't have an individual, accountability partner, but every day I made a point. It took me 5 minutes to go into the group to write what I did that day. I wrote what I ate
Yes.
that day, working out. I just wrote it, right? I made up my mind. I'm going to spend 5 minutes a day and I'm going to do that. Well, in 18 weeks, myself, I went from like 262 to 197, and but the awesome part about it was not just the changes, but being involved in a group. My heart changed, Marty. I know yours did too. Just
Yes.
getting involved with other people, wanting to see other people succeed. I mean, you feed off others. You really do, and that's why me and Marty are talking about so much, because we both have been involved. We know, the effects of being involved in a community, a Facebook group, having an accountability partner. It's a game changer. It is a game changer. And that's why we wanted to emphasize it so much.
Yes, and involving other people. And by the way, an accountability person, Sean, I think you brought up a point which I think is extremely beautiful, is that you held yourself accountable. It wasn't about hiring somebody to say, beat me up when I don't do it. You used that group to hold yourself accountable, that you're saying that I'm going to do this and I'm going to put it out there. Yes, we have to be accountable to ourselves, but it's also nice to have somebody that you are showing it to. A lot of people say, well, this guy, wasn't a very good accountability partner because I disappeared and I didn't do anything. Well, you both got to play,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and I want to share something that if you don't mind, Sean, because I feel passionate on a couple of things, and it's about involving other people in projects and things that we do. I used to be in a sales group, and I was the king of sales, man. And part of the things in that sales group was that we had to make everybody put in like $20. Okay, it was a group of people, and everybody put money in the pot, and you had goals. Okay, my goal was I had to make 1,200 phone calls every 3 weeks, and I had to make so many connections, and I had to make so many sales dollars. Okay, and I stated my goals. Okay, and then when you met in 3 weeks, the one who accomplished the most phone calls, so on and so forth, they won the money from the rest of the group. Okay, and I could have lived off of just winning that.
Yeah.
Collecting $20, not really. I mean, I was probably collecting $200, every 3 weeks. But what I'm saying is I had very specific goals, and we had the accountability of putting $20 in the pot, and we had the accountability of meeting every 3 weeks and going over what we did. But what I was finding is that I was so focused on trying to make those sales calls that I could have forgotten about. I would have been in the car and I was making phone calls because I had some very aggressive things. And my son was very young at that age when I was doing that. And I said, well, this isn't too cool that I'm in the car, I'm ignoring my son because I'm making phone calls. So what I did is I included him in the process. We had father and son time. My son would bring in, Josh would bring a phone book, and he would give me random phone numbers to call people. And if I connected on those people and I made a sale, my son would share a piece of commission, and he loved it. Okay? And right now, my son is killing it working, as a banker. I mean, he makes phone calls. He loves it. He's so freaking good at it, and he's becoming so successful because him and I made it a game, something that you could win, you could enjoy, you could share it with your pop, you could share it with your kid, just like you, Sean, is the success that your daughter had making some money by putting it into Amazon, like you taught her. There's such a good feeling when you involve people and you're not doing it alone, and you're teaching tremendous, tremendous things to people by doing that.
You're absolutely right. And, everything that Marty just said, I mean, it's so true. And, he touched on my daughter, and I don't know if I told you guys this, but she just recently, after Christmas, she, wanted to get involved in it more and more. So she took $50 of her own money. We went out, and she's pretty familiar with scanning. So she picked a couple products. We scanned it. It's profitable. Within a week, she turned her $50 into $91. $91. She's just turned 12 years old. And now she's going to take that $91 and when I see her this weekend, we're going to go and we're going to get her more product, and we're going to list that. And she's going to turn that 91, who knows, until 150 something. But she's going to keep it going, and we're going to see what happens by the end of the year. That's her goal. So, like I said, if I can do it, Marty can do it, my daughter can do it, anybody can do it. The one thing I wanted to go ahead, Marty.
And you're cheering her on, and she feels good, and she feels proud, and I mean, you guys can all think about that. Is that okay, so your niche is selling games, right? And you have kids, right? And you could just say, hey, Joe or Sally, if you ever see some games that people might want to get rid of, let me know about it. And I mean, you could include people and you could reward them by giving, an extra $2 in their allowance. I mean, there's so many games that you could play that you're teaching kids good habits, good money habits, good group habits, good parenting habits, good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's so much that we could do by involving others in our lives.
Yeah.
We're teaching by doing that. You're teaching them to be better parents. That you're teaching them how to earn some money. You're teaching them how to look for things. It's just a beautiful system when you just get out of your little thinking mind and start including people in your life.
Right. Absolutely right. We're gonna go over this real quick. But guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and start typing them down, and we'll get to them. For you. But Marty, we're talking about this.
We're getting feedback, Shane. Sean, we're getting feedback.
Can you? What's it sound like now? Is it better?
Really bad.
Is it?
No. Keep going.
How about now? Any better?
No.
Hold up.
Ask the people if they hear it too. It's pretty bad.
How about now, Marty?
Nope, same thing.
Now.
No.
All right. Well, do me a favor then. Go over this daily goal planning then. If you don't mind.
I can't even hear you, Sean. It's just all go over the daily goal planning.
Yeah. Just read it. Read what I have to talk about.
You hear me okay, right?
Yes.
Then I won't worry about it. Okay, the daily goal planning. Set 3 things you could do each day to help promote and grow your business. Set up a win-loss chart. Do feared things first. Look for ways to step out of your comfort zone. Scout product retail / online. Interact at least one time in Facebook group. Beautiful.
Marty, what's it sound like now?
It's a little better, but it sounds like there's a frog talking.
All right, you're going to have to just go with it, man. Just lead it.
I'm good. It's clear enough that I could hear you now.
Okay. You can hear me now?
Oh, now it's perfect.
All right. Guys, I apologize. I don't know what's going on tonight. But if you have any questions at all, type it in the box. Anything me and Marty can answer for you, please go ahead. Sound still good, Marty?
Sounds great, dude.
Okay. Daily goal planning, everything Marty just went over. This is something just to focus on every day, right? Set 3 things up. I gave an example, 3 things that you can do each day to help promote and grow your business. Whether it's going out scanning product, studying and learning more material, scouting product online, bagging things, getting supplies, getting tools, asking questions in the Facebook group, asking questions of me or Marty, any of the guys in there. Set 3 things up that you can do each day to promote and grow your business, and create like a win-loss chart, right? So if you get all 3 things done in one day, strike it up as a win. If you don't, a loss. That's one thing I have done before. These are just examples because I just want to see you guys taking more and more and more action. And a lot of times, when we have goals, things we have to do, I know in the past for me, I would put the feared things off. The things that made me feel the most uncomfortable, I would put them off till the end. Where now I see those kind of things and I attack them first. I do the feared things first, get them out of the way. Things that make me feel uncomfortable, I do them. It makes me feel stronger. And look for ways to step out of your comfort zone. This is with anything. Look for ways always to step out of your comfort zone because it makes you stronger as an individual. Right, Marty? The more things that you can do, that's uncomfortable to you, just the stronger you get. You agree?
I totally agree, and even more than agree, I look at people, and if people are like totally content and look at yourself, okay? Look at yourselves and like, are you totally happy? Are you totally content where you are financially? Are you totally content where, that you totally like your body? Are you totally content that you like all the relationships in your life? I mean, if you really are, you don't need this. You don't have to do a darn thing that Sean is saying or I'm talking about, but the truth is you're here and you're listening because you want more.
Exactly.
So when you want more, something has to change. Because if you don't go into that uncomfortable zone, what do you get? You get the same thing. If I am totally comfortable doing 5 curls with 10 pounds, okay, I could do them for 1,000,000 times. I'm comfortable doing that. I guarantee you I'm probably not growing that muscle very much. So if I only end up, so I have to do something different that's uncomfortable until that becomes comfortable again, and then I make a choice, do I want to go further? Okay? So you really have to ask yourself, are you where you want to be?
Yeah.
And if not, you take those things that scare you. You do those things that you're uncomfortable with, because I guarantee if you're comfortable, you're going to start skating right where you are.
Yep. Any great success in life takes hard work. You are presented with obstacles, and it's not easy. You look at anything in life, professional athletes to successful business people to anything. I mean, they hustle, they work. It's not a cakewalk. They have a vision, they have a plan, they practice day in and day out, and they go after it. And that's what me and Marty are doing. That's what we laid out in this webinar for you guys, is just to take some things from here that you can apply day in and day out. Just these simple little reminders of what you need to do, things you need to take action on. And we can promise you, if you do these things, you will see success. Marty, we have a question from our friend Ben. And
hey, Ben.
Just sum it up. It's kind of long, so I'm going to try to sum it up. He says he knows how to use the tools, but he's finding it harder to find products that meet the qualification, like number of sellers, rank, consistent pricing, reviews. He just said he had 4 days off work. His goal was to spend $1,000. He tested out clothing, luggage, tools, hats, shoes, and sunglasses, but he's finding toys seem to be more promising for beginning sellers. He didn't find much, and he's looking for profit between 20 and 50%. Says he wishes he could shadow us. We do too, man. We will one.
No, but you know what he's saying, and like I think the first 2 weeks, or I don't know what,
Marty,
but yeah,
your volume's messed up now, or was?
Yeah. Now you hear me all right?
It seems keep talking.
How about now? Can you hear me?
I can't. You're coming in and out. I don't know if it's just me.
How about now, buddy?
On my end, you sound like a robot.
Not getting that'd be their system. I don't think it's anything to do with us.
Yeah. Hold on.
You,
No, it sounds bad. I don't know what's going on.
You're perfect.
I'm perfect.
Yeah. Well, far from it, but
Yeah. Now you sound a little better. Now you sound better, but he just said, would it be more beneficial? The only products he found are restricted. Would it be more beneficial at this point to pay $1,000 fees and jump through the hoops? This has been what I got to tell you. I mean, in the beginning, okay, when I started off, I started mainly with toys and sporting goods, but it was hard. I would go out and spend hours and hours, and it would be very hard to come away with product, right? But I remember I had a couple people teaching me and encouraging me, telling me it's like a light bulb. You got to go out and you got to do it. You got to do it. You got to do it, and you become familiar with it, and just in a matter of no time, it will go off, and you will find product, and you will get familiar with what sells and what doesn't. And in the beginning, it was overwhelming for me, and that's what I was told. But somewhere along the line, like 2-3 weeks in, it just went off. It was a light bulb, and I became more and more familiar with it. So I want to encourage you not to give up, but to keep going out there and to keep looking. I would focus go out to a store and focus on like two things, like two categories, whether it's toys and clothing or something, and just focus on that right now. But you will find it. You got to go to different stores. In the beginning, I went to so many different stores. Now I'm to a point where I just have a handful of stores that I go to, that because of my persistency and practice and just getting out there, I've just come to find out the ones that are most beneficial for me and around my area. And that happens with so many other successful FBAers that I've talked to, is that it just, after doing it for a little bit, you become familiar with what sells, what doesn't, what stores have things you can buy from, what stores don't. So you just got to keep it up. But I promise you keep it up in a couple weeks. In a couple weeks, mark my word, mark your calendar, you'll have a different mindset if you do it day in and day out. Do as much as you can do. As for paying that fee, I would wait a little bit, see what you can find.
right.
Give it a couple.
You hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Marty.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. That's what I was going to say. Wait. because, I mean, somewhere down the line you want to pay that fee, that's cool, but I still think you have to come up and experience this phenomena of all of a sudden everything that you're doing becomes alive and real, and you'll find there's things everywhere that all of a sudden, because you scanned them, you found yourself a big deal. So if you skip that part, I think you're going to, in the long run, suffer because of it. Remember I called you, Sean? I said, holy cow, all of a sudden this became alive.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
It just all of a sudden, I mean, I could probably go out today and come back with 10 items hitting places where before I'm going, what the heck? What is he doing? There's nothing here. I experienced that same thing.
Yeah. And that's how I was in the beginning. I was like, man, like when Chris was telling me this, I'm like, nah, man. I said, there ain't nothing out here. I am not finding out anything. And now I'm to the point right now, guys, where I'm weeks away from being able to quit my job. Because I listened to what Chris said, and I just continued day in and day out, did as much as I can. And that's what I'm passing on to you guys. That's what we're passing on to you. Day in and day out, continue to do it. And like Marty said, for him, same thing. He was overwhelmed, but the light bulb went off, and he's getting more and more comfortable with it. So
Right.
yeah. So that's about it. It's almost 9:15. We were on here for an hour. Ben says, awesome, thanks, Sean and Marty. Michael Matson, Marty, he said that he agrees with us, and he said that where was it at? I think he said he felt comfortable the more he went out also. So
Yeah.
Anything else you want to say, Marty? Any closing thoughts?
Just just be careful when you scan so much. Like I was scanning the bananas in my refrigerator one day. My wife says, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm scanning my food."
Yeah.
So the other thing that
Marty, your volume's messed up.
Could you hear me at all?
No, you sound like a robot.
It's
It's not good. Yeah. Well, I apologize.
I want to make this one statement, all right?
All right, go ahead.
All right. Forget it. It's not going to work. What I want people to know, Sean, even if you could hear it to repeat it, is that because it's hard, you have to watch your mindset that you say hard is not fun. You can't go out thinking that it's hard, that's going to be torture. Mm-hmm. You still have to create the fun while you're doing hard things. Does that make sense?
Yes. Exactly, man. You have to enjoy life. Guys, you got to enjoy life, right? Despite the obstacles, despite things being overwhelmed, you got to make the most of it. You got to enjoy life. Like me, I remember before my younger years and stuff, I would complain. Something went wrong. My whole day would be ruined. I'm a big football fan, right? Just example. I like the Chicago Bears. They suck, right? They suck right now. But before, if the Bears would lose a game, I'd let that ruin days. So there's always going to be things that come up in life. We just got to enjoy it. Like when it comes to the business, you go out and you can't find products. Still, like Marty said, make it fun, right? If you have a positive mindset, you focus on the things that matter. Go out and do what you got to do, right? At the end of the day, you focus on the things that matter, the things that will love you back. What we're doing here with the business is to create a better future for us and the things that will love us back, right? So just focus on the things that you do have, be happy with life, and just do the best you can. I want to leave you guys with this closing thought. You've heard me say this before, but I want you just to listen and hear it again. You must do what most people won't do to be in a place someday where most people are not. We just talked about doing hard things, overcoming obstacles, finding solutions for obstacles. Remember, I promise you, if you guys day in, day out look for ways to take action, to move forward, to get connected with like-minded people, lay your bricks, and do what most people won't do, someday you're going to be in a place that most people aren't. I am weeks away from being able to quit my job, and if I didn't do what most people want to do, back in the summer, back in the fall, I wouldn't be in the position I am right now. And the people that didn't do what I'm doing, they're still, stuck in the same spot. So I want to encourage you guys to do the things that we laid out, to let you know I'm here for you. We're here for you. Anything we can do to help you, we truly care. And I want to see you succeed. I really do, because when you guys succeed, I succeed. And it just makes me feel good. It fires me up. So I believe in you. I truly do. Anything I can do, I'm here for you. But just get out there, take action, make up your mind that this is a year your life is going to be different than it's ever been before. All right. So with that being said, we're sorry about the technical difficulties. Marty, thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you guys staying on the call, and just know, we appreciate you. Keith, thanks for checking in. He also said the Lions. I'm sorry about that, buddy. Larry, good night. Also. All right. Well, till next time, you guys get out there, take action. We believe in you. We appreciate you. And we will see you in the Facebook group. Right, Marty?
Sounds good, buddy.
All right. You guys have a good night. Take care.